Hello, children of class 8. Hope all of you are doing well and staying safe and staying home. Even in the midst of this nationwide lockdown due to the pandemic COVID-19, I am grateful that these online classes is a way that where we can reach you and we can bring the classroom right to your living room. Please make the best use of this time, children, because time wasted will never come back. In English, for class 8, we have been dealing with Ruskin Bond's Ranji's Wonderful Bat since the last two videos. The third video also was uploaded, and this is the final and the fourth video, children. The story I will be explaining and showing you the pictures one by one, and later I will read the last 2 pages of this 8 pages lesson, Ranji's Wonderful Bat. So the story till here is, "How's that?" shouted the wicket-keeper, holding the ball up in his gloves. "How's that?" echoed the fielders. "How?" growled the fast bowler, glaring at the umpire. "Out," said the umpire. And Suraj, the captain of the school team, was walking slowly back to the tool shed at the far end of the field. The score stood at 53 for 4 wickets. Another 60 runs had to be made for victory, and only one good batsman remained. All the rest were bowlers who could not make any runs. It was Ranji's turn to bat. He was the youngest member of the team, only 11, but strong and bold. Ranji prepared to face the bowler. The hard, shiny red ball came speeding towards him. Ranji was going to leap forward and play the ball back to the bowler, but at the last moment he changed his mind and stepped back, planning to push the ball through the ring of fielders on his right or offside. The ball swung in the air short of the grass and came through sharply to strike Ranji on his pads. The umpire raised a finger. "Out," he said, and it was Ranji's turn to walk back to the tool shed. The match was won by the visiting team. "Never mind," said Suraj, patting Ranji on the back. "You'll do better next time." But their cricket coach was more strict. "You'll have to make more runs in the next game," he said, "or you'll lose your place in the side." Avoiding the other players, Ranji walked slowly homewards. He was very upset. He had been trying so hard and practicing so regularly, but when an important game came along, he failed to make a big score. On his way home, he had to pass Mr. Kumar's sports shop. He liked to chat with the owner or look at all the things on the shelves: footballs, cricket balls, badminton rackets, hockey sticks, and balls of various shapes and sizes. Mr. Kumar had been a state player once and had scored a century in a match against Tanzania. But this was one day when he did not feel like stopping. He looked the other way and was about to cross the road when Mr. Kumar's voice stopped him. "Hello, Ranji. Why are you looking so sad? Lost the game today?" Ranji felt better as soon as he was inside the shop with Mr. Kumar. "Yes," he said, "we lost the match." "Never mind," said Mr. Kumar. "What would we do without losers? Anyway, how many runs did you make?" "None. A big round egg. I haven't made a good score in my last 3 matches, said Ranji. "I'll be dropped from the team if I don't do something in the next game." Yes, children, so now Ranji is very worried. So what is the next step? What happens? What does Mr. Kumar give him? "Well, we can't have that happening," said Mr. Kumar. "Something will have to be done about it." "I'm just unlucky," said Ranji. "Maybe, but in that case, it's time your luck changed." Mr. Kumar began looking closely at a number of old cricket bats, and after a few minutes he said, "Ah," and he picked up one of the bats, and he held it out to Ranji. "This is it," he said. "This is the luckiest of all my old bats. This is the bat I made a century with." He held it out to Ranji. "You won't fail with it. Here, take it. I lend it to you for the rest of the cricket season." Ranji spent a nervous week waiting for Saturday's match. He asked Koki, the girl next door, to bowl him in the garden, and Koki bowled quite well. At last, Saturday arrived, bright and sunny, just right for cricket. Suraj won the toss for the school and decided to bat first. The opening batsman put on 30 runs without being separated. The visiting fast bowlers couldn't do much. Then the spin bowlers came on, and immediately there was a change in the game. Suraj made a few quick runs, and then he too was out to one of the spinners caught behind the wicket. Two wickets fell in one over, and the score was 33 for 2. Now, let's see what Ranji does. And it was Ranji's turn. He walked slowly to the wicket. The bowler took a short run, and then the ball was twirling towards Ranji. And then a thrill ran through Ranji's arm as he felt the ball meet the bat. Crack! The ball hit firmly with the middle of Ranji's bat, streaked past the helpless bowler, and sped towards the boundary. 4 runs. Yes, children, and that was only the beginning. Now Ranji began to play all the strokes he knew. He sent the fielders scampering to all corners of the field. On his way home, Ranji stopped at Mr. Kumar's shop. 20 minutes after lunch, when Suraj closed the innings, Ranji was not out with 58, and Ranji's school had won the match. "We won," he said, "and I made 58, my highest score so far. It really is a lucky bat." So, children, till now I have read the entire lesson for you in the gist, and you can please go back and read the text for yourself. But this is not the actual end. This is not the actual end. What happens here is there is another 2 pages left, which I am going to read for you and explain it in detail. Now, what happens to the lucky bat given to Ranji by Mr. Kumar? Let's see. Yes, children. So, Ranji decided to go home straight. He wanted to go home straight. Usually he walked, but that evening Ranji caught a bus near the clock tower. When he got home, his mother brought him a cup of tea, and while he was drinking it, Koki walked in. The first thing she said was, "Ranji, where's your bat?" "Oh, I must have left it on the Maidan when Bean got hurt," said Ranji, starting up and spilling his tea. "I'd better go and get it now, or it will disappear." "You can fetch it tomorrow," said his mother. "It's getting dark." "I'll take a torch," said Ranji. He was worried about the bat. Without it, his luck might desert him. He hadn't had the patience to wait for a bus and ran all the way to the Maidan. The Maidan was deserted, and there was no sign of the bat. Then Ranji remembered that he'd had it with him on the bus after saying goodbye to Bheem at the clock tower. Bheem is his same friend who got hurt and whom he had taken to the hospital to clean up his wounds and get it medicined. He must have left it on the bus. Well, he'd never find it now. The bat was lost forever. And on Saturday, Ranji's school would be playing their last and most important match of the cricket season against a visiting team from Delhi. Next day, he was at Mr. Kumar's shop, looking very sorry for himself. "What's the matter?" asked Mr. Kumar. "I've lost the bat," said Ranji. "Your lucky bat, the one I made all those runs with. I left it on the bus, and the day after tomorrow we are playing the Delhi school, and I'll be out for a duck, and we'll lose our chances of being the school champions." Mr. Kumar looked a little anxious at first. Then he smiled and said, "You can still make all the runs you want." "But I don't have the bat anymore," said Ranji. "Any bat will do," said Mr. Kumar. "What do you mean?" "I mean it's the batsman and not the bat that matters. Shall I tell you something? The old bat I gave you was no different from any other bat I've used. True, I made lots of runs with it, but I made runs with other bats too. I never depended on a special bat for my runs. A bat has magic only when the batsman has magic. When what you needed was confidence, not a bat. And by believing in the bat, you got your confidence back." "What's confidence?" asked Ranji. It was a new word for him. "Confidence," said Mr. Kumar slowly. "Confidence is knowing you are good." "And I can be good without the bat?" "Of course. You have always been good. You are good now. You will be good the day after tomorrow as well. Remember that. If you do, you'll make the runs." On Saturday, Ranji walked to the wicket with a bat borrowed from Bheem. The school team had lost its first wicket with only 2 runs on the board. Ranji went in at this stage. The Delhi school's opening The Delhi school's opening bowler was sending down some really fast ones. Ranji faced him confidently. The first ball was very fast, but it wasn't a good length. Quick on his feet, Ranji stepped back and pulled it hard to the on boundary. The ball soared over the heads of the fielders and landed with a crash in a crate of cold drink bottles. A six! Everyone stood up and cheered. It was the start of Ranji's wonderful innings. The match ended in a draw, but Ranji's 75 was the talk of the entire school. On his way home, he bought a dozen laddus for Koki and 10 for Mr. Kumar. So, children, that was the end of the 8 pages lesson of Ranji's Wonderful Bat, written by Ruskin Bond. It was a pleasure reading for all of you children, and I am sure all of you also have enjoyed the lesson from the last 3 videos, that is part 1, part 2, part 3, and including this one, which is the part 4, children. Now, summarizing the entire lesson, I will be reading the last 2 pages of summary for you. Now, one evening after a game on the Maidan, Ranji decided to catch a bus to home. He forgot and left the bat in the bus. The bat was lost forever. Ranji's team was playing their last and most important match of the cricket season on Saturday against a public school sent from Delhi. Next day, Ranji visited Mr. Kumar and told sadly that he had lost the bat. Mr. Kumar looked a little worried at first. Then he smiled and said that Ranji could still make all the runs he wanted with any bat. A bat had magic only when the batsman had magic. Ranji needed the confidence, not a magic bat. And by believing the bat was lucky, he got his confidence back. Kumar encouraged him. On Saturday, Ranji walked to the wicket with a bat borrowed from Suraj. The school team had lost its first wicket with only 2 runs on the board. Ranji went in at this stage. He hit the very first ball for a 6. Everyone stood up and cheered, and it was only the beginning of Ranji's wonderful innings. The match was a draw, but Ranji's 75 runs was the talk of the entire school. On his way home, he bought a dozen laddus and he bought a dozen laddus for Mr. Kumar and 10 for Koki. After all, these were the 2 people who helped him, right? Mr. Kumar and Koki. So, children, this is a wonderful lesson. I am urging you to read the text. I am encouraging you to read the text completely, which is shared in the link below. And you can go back to the first 3 videos, including this one, the part 4 and the final of the video of Ranji's Wonderful Bat by Ruskin Bond. Hope you have enjoyed the lesson, children, and I'm sure all of you, the want to be cricketers, the want to be athletes, I'm sure all of you must have connected with this lesson. It was a pleasure teaching all of you, children. Please stay home and stay safe and make use of these wonderful online classes which our school, Johnson Grammar School, has been bringing to you. Yes, children, I am sure you will not let me down. And God bless all of you and your families.